Let's talk about the very first speedster in my DC cinematic universe, Jay Garrick. Jay Garrick was born in 1920 in Central City. As the boy grew, it was evident that he was very intelligent, and he ended up going to college, studying in physics and chemistry. And at the young age of 21, he was doing an experiment one day involving heavy water. He was attempting to formulate some in a lab using electrolysis. Well, he electrocuted himself on the equipment, broke everything, and inhaled a lot of heavy water vapor. After he woke up and healed from this entire ordeal, he found that he had developed super speed. He'd spent a little bit of time studying himself, trying to figure out how did he get these powers? How do these powers even work? But then the war front would call to him. He would realize he's been gifted these amazing abilities, and he can't just sit around in a lab studying them. And so Jay Garrick walked over to the recruitment office and he joined the United States Army. He revealed to the military his abilities, and so he was assigned to the Specialized Task Force X, an entire platoon made up of superpowered individuals. He and the rest of this group would continue fighting the good fight over in Germany, and eventually they would be assigned to hunt down a superweapon known only as Ubermensch. This would eventually lead them to meet Diana of Themyscira. She would accompany them to defeat this Ubermensch, who ended up being a soldier named Overman. They would defeat both Overman and his parents, and they would win the war for the Allies. And after the war, Task Force X decided that they should stick together. They should continue fighting for the good of the United States of America. And so they founded the Justice Society of America. When Jay finally did return home from the war, he returned to his best gal, a girl named Joan. The two of them would get married, and after a couple of years, they would have a daughter named Judy. And for decades after that, Jay Garrick, as the fastest man alive, would save thousands of people working for the JSA. He mentored all the young kids and the children of heroes in the past that he had fought along the side of, and he became one of the most famous superheroes in the world. And this whole time, he had spent decades researching how he got his powers. But Jay was always looking in the wrong direction. He was convinced this had something to do with the combination of electrolysis and heavy water. But he was completely wrong. You see, the electricity he got hit with that fateful day all those years ago was not regular electricity. It was a bolt of Speed Force energy, and Jay Garrick had unknowingly become the first avatar to the Speed Force Earth had ever seen. While this man was a brilliant physicist and now equipped with the fastest mind on Earth and unparalleled intellect, he still could never fathom the concept of the Speed Force. He never discovered it, and so a lot of his powers went untapped. He never knew what his full potential would be. And finally, at the age of 74, Jay Garrick would sadly be killed by Black Adam in the JSA's very last battle. But his legacy would live on, because 30 years later, the Speed Force would choose another avatar, a CSI officer by the name of Barry Allen.